Today on Bike People, we're not riding. On the road, that is. Racers go all out for cyclocross, and Suzette has...
Do I brake?
Concerns. All that and more, straight ahead on Bike People. Bike People is brought to you in part by... The Des Moines Bicycle Collective promotes bicycling as a means of active transportation, wellness, and recreation in central Iowa. The Iowa Natural Heritage Foundation, working to protect and restore Iowa's land, water, and wildlife. Bike Iowa, your source for Iowa bicycle rides, events, and news, connecting cycling with Iowa communities since 2001.
My name is Forrest. I got my first bike at age 3, my next bike at age 7. I've ridden in Europe, Australia, and all across our great nation.
My name is Suzette. I'm a mom, TV personality,
I have no excuse.
and bike lover. I've known Forrest for years, from interviews, rides, and bike events.
Things up for rag ride issue.
I'm in the bicycle business and a cycling enthusiast. I've been collecting, fixing, and selling bikes my whole life.
We love bikes and all the people, stories, and adventures around them.
We're on a journey to show you the world through two wheels.
To help you become
Bike People.
Welcome to Bike People. This week we go off-road. We talk about cyclocross, single track, and mountain biking.
I hear you also got to ride some of the Great Western Trail.
I did. It's one of my favorite rides. I rode the Tacopocalypse Taco Ride. And later on, I got some tips about riding, of course, from Biff.
Lift up the front end, get the front end up and over the log, and then just let the bike do the rest and roll right over it.
Well, I taught him everything he knows, so hopefully he was able to relay that to you.
He did a very good job. Now this week, we start with the Capital City Cross, a premier central Iowa cyclocross race, and it happens right here in Des Moines.
Kurt Benson here? Yeah, sorry.
It's the beginning of the cyclocross season here in Des Moines, and it's the perfect day to check out this high-energy race.
You want to go 15 seconds.
Well, we're here with Thomas, our representative from Bike World today. Good to see you.
Great.
How did you fare?
I finished. I had fun.
Well, this is
Had a great time.
first cyclocross race that I have ever been to. And I keep hearing about it, and I know it's becoming popular in Iowa. How long have you been doing it?
This is my 3rd year.
Okay. And what's the difference between a road bike and a cyclocross bike? Because they kind of look the
They
same.
do
Maybe
look
the
a lot
tire's a
alike,
little bigger.
actually. A little longer wheelbase. The
Okay.
fork has a little more rake to it, a little higher bottom bracket to clear some of the obstacles. And the brakes are kind of the first thing you can kind of see. It's a cantilever style or a V-brake style. They're even doing disc brakes on them nowadays.
Spoken
but
like an expert here.
But it just different. You can just see that right away. And the knobby tires. But you can take a cyclocross bike and put a road bike tire on there, if you will, and use it as a road bike.
Now, what does cyclocross look like for somebody who hasn't been here?
It looks hard and really serious and really demanding. It's just a lot of fun. If you kind of go and look at the guys on the hill that are just doing it and doing beer hand-ups and bacon hand-ups and believe it or not, mayonnaise hand-ups, yeah.
Hand-ups? We're just
they're
like,
just,
instead of the water, you
yeah,
just...
Yeah, well, they're just doing it. They'll do money. They'll hand money up. Someone
Awesome.
got $20 bill yesterday, so
right
just, you know,
on.
Yeah.
And there's
cool
a little
stuff.
more. There's a few more
Relax.
obstacles. I've noticed that there are people carrying their bikes too. When would somebody have to do that?
Because they won't be able to ride over it. So you're gonna, like that barrier back there, you're gonna hop off while you're moving, keep moving, lift your bike up, and just carry it over and kind of hopefully not lose any time. Maybe even pass some people that do it slower. And then the sand pit, there's a sand pit over there that you can ride through, but it's slower than hopping off your bike, running through, hopping back on.
Now, what kind of tips do you think that you would give somebody that's new to cyclocross that says, hey, you know, I love the looks of this, I just want to get started?
Don't spend any money. Get whatever you have and just ride whatever you have. I've seen people out here on hybrids with thumb shifters and mountain bikes. The kid that got second in the first race had a mountain bike. And,
wow.
You know, I wouldn't, until you know what you want to do into it or how much you want to get into it, it's one of those sports that you can just dump a bunch of money into and really not get any more out of it. But if you get into it slowly and just meet some people and come and just enjoy the thing, that's really awesome.
Hey, good to see you.
You got
Congrats.
it. See ya. Thanks, guys.
Well, I'm here with Sam, Alan, and you raced yesterday, and today you're a spectator.
Today I'm taking the day off. Yep.
So what happened? I mean, do you only need to race one weekend day? I'm not familiar with cyclocross, so I'm not sure how the points work, or if you're just out doing having fun.
Well, at my level, there's we don't really go by point system. It's more really about participation.
Okay.
I'm in the Cat 4, which is what the beginner class. Sometimes I race in the Masters 35 and up, which is a little bit tougher than the beginners because those people actually have some experience.
So you mean tougher, like you have more competition, or
it's faster.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I
But
don't
it's
know.
the same course?
It's the same course. Yeah, everybody races the same course. Now the difference is between the days. Yesterday they were riding this the other direction.
Oh,
so they're riding clockwise today,
All right.
counterclockwise. Counterclockwise yesterday, and it was pretty challenging. You know, it's hot out. It's hotter than it normally is during the cyclocross season. It's really dusty out since we have had zero precipitation recently. And this particular park, although it's gotten better from the conditions last year, it's pretty bumpy. So if you can imagine just riding your bike and getting your teeth chattered the whole time.
Wow. You're out on the trails a lot. You bike almost exclusively?
Almost, yes.
Okay. What do you, like, how many bikes do you have?
I have about, I think, 22 bikes.
When did that all start? The obsession.
Oh, well, I've been obsessed with bikes and kind of a gearhead since I was a teenager. Yeah, I started trying to ride competitively when I was in like my early teens. Took some time off, but then when I came back, it was like, oh man, I live downtown, I work downtown, like why do I even own a car? One year I drove my car 1,000 miles.
Wow.
So I was like, might as well just sell this thing and like buy some bikes, right?
Once a month, that's what people drive, because you know what, it's like usually 12,000 miles a year. I mean, that's
Right.
once a month. That's amazing. That's absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
Now, I know that people know you from riding bikes, but also I think you're most famous for Tacopocalypse and at the Coming Tap, which we're going to head down there and see you sometime very soon.
Yep, the Coming Tap. I don't know if the beard's in the way, but
Right
there's
there,
the logo there.
right there. Awesome. Well, thank you for doing that and stopping and talking to us.
Yeah, thanks for having
Good
me.
to see ya.
You too.
Well, you just met my buddy Sam, the mastermind behind Tacopocalypse. Now, he is a traveling taco guy. On Tuesday nights, you can find him there right down the Great Western Trail with a bunch of your friends. And later on that week, it's steak night.
Well, I'm hungry already, so let's just see this video.
Let's do it. The Great Western Trail is one of my favorite trails. Always people riding, so you're never alone.
It's nice because it starts out in the middle of town and there are so many people that enjoy the ride because of its location.
So I like to just park downtown, take my bike, and ride down to the Coming Tap.
But it's really nice because you can ride from almost anywhere in the metro area to the trailhead here. So if you don't want to drive, you don't have to.
Most of the trail is shaded.
You sure see a lot of guys with bags in their bikes. They probably come from work and they've got their work clothes in there. They're headed down to Taco-Apocalypse.
So there's my buddy Sam again, serving up the most amazing tacos in the world, in my opinion, of course. I had one taco, and let me tell you, it was unbelievably tasty.
Just goes to show how food and cycling go together. Burn the calories off, and then you can consume them back.
Well, that Sam is quite the chef, and, did I mention, quite the gym. Well, I think we got a little sidetracked with the food. We didn't even finish with cyclocross. We still have to go speak with Scott Sumpter.
Scott is a great resource. He knows more about what's happening in the state of Iowa for cycling than anybody else. He'll be a good guy to talk to.
We are here today with Scott Sumpter, Mr. Bike, Iowa. Great to have you here. Now, what is your role in the cyclocross?
We got started about 5-6 years ago. I actually broke my foot in a volleyball game, and a couple of good buddies told me to come to Newton and watch a cyclocross race. And at that time, I didn't own any jerseys. I was kind of a bagger, didn't like it. Went there on crutches, watched the first cyclocross race on crutches. Next week, I bought a cyclocross bike on crutches. I'm like, I'm taking that one. And as soon as I got off my crutches, I just started riding the bike and actually was able to do one race that season. My favorite tweet last week was some guy goes, cyclocross is so much fun, all except for the 45 minutes that you're racing. You know, but it's an inviting sport. Mountain biking, you go into the woods, you get lost, you know, or nobody sees you for 45 minutes and you come out. Roadies, I mean, you get left back behind. Cyclocross, you can start up if you want to stop for a water hand up, a beer hand up. If you get lapped, nobody really knows. Nobody really cares. Anybody has a pair of running shoes, they can go out and run one of the Money Buddies, but this takes a little bit, it takes another bike and it takes some handling skills because you can go down. There's a couple people that hit the barrier, scraped off all their skin off their shin. And like I was kind of known, kind of through the recreational side, the party, the fun side, but we've really tried to step it up on the race side too and make it inviting for new people to get into it. But yeah, that's where we have a clinic on Tuesday nights, the practices, and people, we take away the intimidation. I mean, I was intimidated the first time I came to a race.
Anybody can come out for that.
Anybody. I mean, the Cat 4s, and we got people racing with, lights on their bikes and racks.
Yeah.
And they just come out here and, they do half the practice and they're like, breathing, but they're coming back.
Hey, there's some opportunities to carry your bike. I see somebody right over there doing that right now. Some obstacles. What are some other parts of the course that are challenging?
I mean, you got the pinwheel, the dirt. I mean, it's so dry out, so it kind of gets slick. It's almost like riding through sand. Wow. As much grass you go through, it just kind of gets mushed up, so you just kind of go until you feel your back tire kind of come out, and then, you just kind of hold that line. But it takes a little bit. But I'm surprised that newbies are doing great.
How many times around the course do you go then?
The beginners are racing 35 minutes.
Okay.
So it's really as you take a couple of laps and the officials will kind of calculate the time out to 35 minutes and then they'll pop the lap times on there.
All right.
So I would say 8 to 10 laps.
So there's a starting line, but not really a finish line.
Right, exactly. I mean, it finishes
right
through. You kind of got to watch that. So they got one more lap to go. But that's all in like a 45-minute time frame.
Okay.
The Cat 1s, which are coming up, they'll do 60 minutes, and they'll probably do 12 to 15 laps. They're doing faster lap times.
What's your next race?
Next race is next Saturday out in Pella, another cyclocross race.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
And then Sunday we've got the mountain bike race, so we'll be going back and,
Great.
Forth. So 2-day event again.
Well, good luck, and thank you so much for sharing. Really appreciate your time.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Awesome.
A great way to try out new bikes and new trails is to find a demo day somewhere in your local area where you can check out the newest and greatest in the equipment out there. We did something at Summerset State Park the other day.
And I got to try mountain biking once again. Now, as you recall, I tried it in Las Vegas and wasn't exactly a pro yet, but I think I've improved. What do you think?
Let's just find out. You remember Steve from Ride Bride?
How's it going?
Suzette's
Yeah,
ready. That's us
great.
riding a bike. I'll take your job if you want to show her some bicycles and we'll get things rolling. Right? Good, thanks.
So these are new to this year. We've got some road bikes. Looks like you got a mountain bike there too.
Yep. So on your saddle height, you have a road bike right now? Kind of same setup. How's that feel?
Yeah, it's a beautiful day for this. It's a nice day.
Ding ding.
Hey kid, are you ready?
Yes. You want to come out with me?
Are you gonna go now?
Yeah.
Seriously?
Let's do this.
Let me snag this guy then.
Okay.
Let's go for a quick spin and see if we can do this. Most of the trails we've been on are beautiful paved trails like this. Well, I wanted to show you that they're not all paved, but they're all fun. This is your trail. This is your trail. Now, you told me that you would love to have a Jeep. I want you to know that you own the Jeep of bicycles. It's designed to go off-road, and there's your trail.
Wow. Oh, okay.
Are you ready? Ready for some fun? Ladies first.
Do I brake?
If you want to slow down, that would be a good thing to do.
All right, here I go. Okay, that wasn't
That
nearly
was
as bad
sounds
as I
of
thought.
joy there. I love it. Sounds of excitement. Yeah.
Oh, crap. I'm sorry.
You're having too much fun.
Why aren't these trails wider? Oh, so close to the edge.
Now you're having fun. I can just see it.
Okay, I'm gonna stop now. Oh, sorry.
It's nothing like being in the timber in the fall in Iowa. It's just beautiful. You get to see a wildlife. The leaves have changed. It's just a great time to be outside. This is gorgeous back here. We'll see some deer pretty soon.
Yeah, I
Go,
think
go! Oh, come on! It's just a little log.
This is what they do in cyclocross, right?
This is cyclocross. That's true.
All right.
Just so you know, that was the slow way to get across the log.
You are crazy.
Crazy for fun, right? Did you have fun?
Yeah, you know, it was fun. I'm kind of a scaredy cat. That wasn't flat at all.
I think they call that wisdom. That's a good thing to have some wisdom. You obviously want to ride within your comfort level,
Right.
comfort zone. But did you have fun with the new bike like that? Isn't
Yeah,
it
that
a
was fun.
Cool machine.
I love to try things, and then I'll know for sure if I do like them. And I think I would try it again. I think at some point I would become comfortable, maybe with fewer logs and large drop-offs.
We also could do the road bike demos. They've got those here also. And you know, they do these demos all over the United States. We've had people come from out of town here, so it's been a fun event.
Okay, maybe I'm not a mountain biker, but I do love my road bike, and there are some new ones I want to try. So
there is. Well, let's go do a couple road bikes next.
Yeah. We both had a great time, but until I know more about how to ride a mountain bike, I'm going to stick to my road bike.
Why don't I get you together with Biff, and he'll be able to help you with that kind of riding.
That sounds fantastic. Good morning, Biff.
Good morning.
Your dad said we'd find you out here.
Yeah.
Look who I found in the woods on a mountain bike. Great to see you, Biff.
Great to see you too. I never thought I'd see you out on a mountain bike trail again.
Yeah. Well, you know, I've had experience now at Interbike in Las Vegas on a very, very small trail. And then our mountain bike demo days, which I got to try out on more of an Iowa terrain, which was still very scary to me. But I'm determined
So you're
to
essentially
do
a pro,
this.
is what you're saying.
Yes,
Or
but
close to it.
I'm still a little fearful. So you're out here today. Is this called, what is this? Is this mountain biking? We don't
This
really
is.
have mountain biking.
So Iowa, we don't quite have the elevation
Okay.
that they would in Colorado, but it's still mountain biking. This is what we call single track trail, which basically means the width of the trail is about as wide as a bike.
Okay.
Mountain biking started as kind of on the logging roads, just off-road. They call that double track, so that an off-road vehicle can go onto it. This is single track, and this is what you're gonna find mostly in Iowa.
So what you're saying is that I have not actually done any mountain biking.
At the demo day, we did some mountain biking.
That's the trail was like this big.
Yeah, that's what mountain biking is in Iowa.
Well, okay, so then tell me a little bit more about what's the difference between single track
Mm-hmm.
and regular mountain bike? Because I'm expecting to have a very wide road.
And you go some places and you'll still get that, but a lot of mountain biking now, all over the country even, is about this width. So we just happen to have a lot of trees in Iowa, so we have to chop down a lot of trees to make the mountain bike trails, and it takes a lot more work to make them wider.
So remember that. If somebody invites you to go mountain biking, it's going to be very fun, but ask if it's a single track. How wide is the trail? Because it does make it a little harder to
It's a little
maneuver.
easier to crash, yeah. Handlebars can catch on trees. That's just part of it.
I think we might have footage of that too. I think I may have stopped your dad and a tree stopped him from falling. Because
I think I watched you walk over a log.
Yeah. Oh, okay, so we have to do that today too.
We'll teach
let's
you how
not
to do
forget
that,
about
too.
that. All right, now, obviously the bike is a little bit different too because I'm still pretty much just a road bike girl, but you've got some hydraulics, the bigger tires. Tell me the difference
With
here.
a mountain bike, because you're off-road, think of it a lot like a truck. This is your mud tire of a truck. So it's a lot wider tire, it's got a lot more tread so that you can run on this terrain here. Handlebars are just gonna be a flat handlebar. In Iowa, a lot of us chop them a little bit narrower so you're not running into trees. Then you're also gonna have a nice big shock on the front to absorb a lot of the rough stuff.
Now, I would expect that you could ride this too, like just on gravel roads, back roads and stuff, and this would be a good bike for that.
Absolutely.
So you do need another bike, just one more bike.
Just one more.
So do you have any tips or tricks that you can tell us
Well,
about?
I'd say the biggest thing riding a mountain bike is somewhat trusting your equipment, but also learning where to put your weight. So when you're going up and over that log instead of walking over it, a lot of it is lightening up the front end, lifting up the front of the bike, and just kind of letting the bike go up and over the log.
How do you just like lift up? What? That doesn't make. This just
You
sounds.
you'll lean back.
Okay, so you just lean back on the seat and then kind of
Yes.
like, do you have to pull
Pull
try
it
to
up a little
do a
bit. Yeah,
wheelie? Is that
kind
what
of.
it's about?
Yeah.
Okay, we're just gonna need to see this happen.
We can do that.
I have a tendency to want to brake a lot.
With
For
this, you
safety.
learn to kind of feather your brakes. You don't ever want to go into a corner and just slam on the brakes and then you'll slide out and the bike will come out from underneath you.
It's feathering me just like lightly.
Just a little bit softer.
I think I'm catching on pretty well.
You're learning.
Obviously, we don't have any mountains in Iowa, so where do I find trails like this?
Correct. There's actually more mountain bike trails around here than you would think. If you check out local bike shop or bikeiowa.com, there's a lot of people around the area and a lot of groups that do a lot of mountain biking. Where we're at is actually, you would not know it's a mountain bike trail from the parking lot.
And I didn't until I met you guys. So here's what we need to do. You need to show me how this works. I'm not getting on my bike, but I'm gonna watch. I can see a lot of trails around here, and there's gotta be a few logs that you can jump. This is one
I think
skill
you
I
didn't bring
want.
your bike here for a reason.
You know?
But I'd be more than happy to show you.
Could be right.
All right, so this is what you wanted to see.
Technique.
So going up and over log, what we're gonna do is you're gonna stand up, put your weight back on the bike, lift up the front end, get the front end up and over the log, and then just let the bike do the rest and roll right over it.
Makes it seem so easy.
It is, we'll get you over it one day.
All right. Woo! Thank you so much for showing me all you know about mountain biking. I'm way less intimidated than I was the last couple of times. So next time you'll see me out here.
Perfect. Next time you're on the bike.
On a bike, that's right. High five. All right, this week we got to learn about cyclocross and how to get started if you want to.
Well, I think I'll watch, but now you have some tips about single track riding.
I do, but I think I'm going to stick to the trails, which, by the way, you're always talking about food. Why don't we hit the trails and head down to Cumming for some tacos sometime?
We can do that. In fact, we can make a challenge potentially out of it. The last person there picks up the tab.
He's on. I'm winning this one, my friend.
Yeah, right. Let's go.
Now, next week we'll meet up with Brian Duffy for a ride and visit his new studio and get an update on one of your former students, so to speak, and get caught up on biking, fashion, and culture.
Don't forget to visit our Facebook and webpage.
So get on out there.
And become bike people.
Actually, one day, this is how I found out there was mountain biking in this area. I was at the lagoon that's really close to here, and Thomas, one of your employees, just like burst out of the woods, and he's like, "Hey, Suzette." I'm like, "What?" And I'm like, that must be what he's doing.
Hopefully.
Yeah, that's hopefully what he's doing.
I have no shot. He's behind a tree.
I was going a little faster that time.
Okay, I like the dialogue. Let's do it one more time.
Bike People is brought to you in part by the Des Moines Bicycle Collective promotes bicycling as a means of active transportation, wellness, and recreation in central Iowa. The Iowa Natural Heritage Foundation, working to protect and restore Iowa's land, water, and wildlife. Bike Iowa, your source for Iowa bicycle rides, events, and news, connecting cycling with Iowa communities since 2001.
Thanks for watching Bike People. For more about us, like our Facebook page and
Check out our website at www.bikepeople.tv.
subscribe to our YouTube channel, Bike People TV, all one word for behind the scenes looks.